predictions rolling in, 5-star flips. We're going to break it all down in this video. Coming off that historic comeback win over South Carolina, Elko gets that extension heading into the weekend. Steve, let's talk about, first of all, there's two commitments, one heading into the weekend, one heading out of the weekend. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, the Rivals Industries number 8 cornerback Raylon Henry out of Powerhouse Baltimore St. Francis announced his commitment to Texas A&M prior to kickoff. He was back in College Station, and he chooses Texas A&M over Alabama, Ohio State, and several others, a long physical corner that has all the traits Mike Elko and that coaching staff covet at the position. And then after the ball game, Rivals number 3 safety Jaquan Snell committed to Coach Elko, Coach Ish, and the staff, went public with his plans on Sunday. He is now part of a class that includes Rivals number 1 safety Kamari Dorsey. So Texas A&M putting together an elite defensive back class in 2027. Jaquan Snell, one of the top players in the state of Texas, regardless of position, chooses to play for Mike Elko and the Aggies over Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Oregon, several others. So Texas A&M, they have a great chance to finish with the number 1 class in 2027. They're undefeated. They all but clinched a college football playoff spot in that come-from-behind win over South Carolina. They have the SEC championship game in their sights, and then more importantly, they hope to make a run in the postseason and then do it for years to come. And recruiting is ripping and roaring. There's going to be no shortage of talent lining up to come to College Station.
Yeah, we're going to get back to 2027 in a minute, but 2026 signing day is it's about 2 weeks away, just over 2 weeks away. So, flip predictions. We saw a couple big-time flip targets on campus this weekend, and then three of them. Coming out of the weekend, though, you're dropping predictions. Tell us about them.
Yeah, just logged one right before we went on the air for Houston receiver commit Jaden Warren, a riser in the Rivals 300 out of Iowa Colony, one of the jewels of a Cougars class. But Texas A&M's been working on him all fall. Took his official visit this weekend where he got a chance to get around a lot of the commits during the game on Saturday. Sunday was a lot of meetings with the coaching staff talking about the trajectory of the program, his fit in this explosive offense. You see this Texas A&M receiver core. They got 3 guys eating at a high level right now, all attracted to Jaden Warren. Sam Spiegelman and I predicted Texas A&M to flip Jaden Warren from Houston. Now, Houston trying to get him back to campus this weekend, but right now all the momentum is with the Aggies. 5-star safety Braylon Womack. The door opened when the Auburn commit, when Hugh Freeze was fired, and the Auburn commit returning to College Station this weekend. He was always one of Texas A&M's most coveted targets, regardless of position, in a safety-centric defense. Braylon Womack and his family had a great time back in College Station, spoke with his dad about the trip this morning. They love the way that this program is developing under Coach Elko, the way that they maintain the relationship with Braylon and the family, even after he committed to Auburn. And there's a lot of trust that they can get the best out of him on the next level. Now, he's going to go to the Egg Bowl on Friday night. It's an absolute crime that game's not on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. And then he's going to go to the Iron Bowl on Saturday, so he'll get another look at Auburn before making a final decision. But I think it's lining up for Texas A&M to flip him, and my Rivals prediction machine forecast now reflects that. And then another prediction that Sam Spiegelman and I was 4-star edge rusher Kevin KJ Ford. He's out of Duncanville. He is committed to Florida right now. He's been on 3 game visits to Texas A&M this season. Coach Tony Gerard-Edey leading the charge there, but getting back around Coach Elko and the guys in the program, seeing this Texas A&M defense fly around, the support, the atmosphere, the environment. Texas A&M, I thought, was the early favorite for KJ Ford. Then he picked Florida over Alabama, but here come the Aggies at the end for Ford. I think they land them all in order of confidence. I would go right now, Warren, Ford, Womack, but wouldn't be surprised if they all ended up being in the fold for Texas A&M when all said and done, as they push for a top 5 class. And Josh, these aren't the only 2026 targets still in play. One more I want to mention, Ethan Booby Feaster, receiver out of DeSoto. I think that there's some conversation there. Now, it's going to be a very tough flip from USC. I do not have him in the Texas A&M class, but keeping him warm. And then Lamar Brown, Jace Matthews, I don't see that for Texas A&M right now. I think they'd be very excited getting the 3 guys this weekend and calling it a day. and pivoting to 2027. We'll see what else would potentially come in 2026 beyond those guys.
Yeah, one of the hottest teams in America right there, Texas A&M in 2026, but also 2027. You mentioned they have the number one class in America. They're going to try to finish with the number one class in America. Who else do you think the Aggies are trending for when it comes to 27 class?
Well, it starts with John Meredith, the number one ranked corner in the country from Arlington Martin. When I talked to Jaquan Snell after the game on Saturday, and we were getting his commitment story ready, I said, who's the guy you're working on, or who are some of the guys you're working on to get the fold? And he mentioned John Meredith. I mean, that Texas A&M already an elite defensive back class. Talked with Charles Power, my colleague, director of scouting, this morning, and he said that John Meredith might be the best corner to come out in several cycles. And so John Meredith is someone that Texas A&M is in a good spot early for. I've already predicted him to the Aggies. They're battling Ohio State and Alabama, among others. Would be a major pickup. And I think they're one of the early contenders for Mark Matthews, number one offensive tackle in the country. They're in the lead group for Kennedy Brown, 5-star in-state offensive tackle. Madshun Sales, receiver from Indianapolis, likes him a lot. They're in the lead group for Zyron Forstall, David Jacobs, 2 5-star edge rushers. So you go up and down this 5-star group. Albert Simeon, interior offensive lineman from the state of Louisiana. A lot of these guys already have the Aggies as a front runner, have them on the short list. It has to do with the relationships. This Texas A&M staff from top to bottom to the off-field guys do a tremendous job of building real relationships with these guys, to the product on the field, to Coach Elko, his presence, the way he carries himself around the football team, to the fan support and all the opportunities. And we know A&M can go toe-to-toe on the NIL front.
Mm-hmm.
They are at sport. They are my favorite to finish with the number one class in 2027 right now.